Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. We've had some good news with the Anas Abdin lawsuit. Um, if you are familiar with the case, basically there was a guy, independent game designer, who was designing a point-and-click game about a tardigrade that people used to travel through space and time, and the crew basically looked like half the crew of Discovery, and the way of traveling was basically the same. And people made him aware of this, and he contacted CBS. They ignored him. Eventually, he got into contact with them, and they didn't really acknowledge any of the issues, so he had to take them to court. It went reasonably far. He got Discovery, and they looked at it, and the judge basically made the wrong decision and threw it out. He seemed to think that you couldn't copyright a tardigrade, like it's something that you couldn't claim ownership to or creation of, and then claimed that what was left wasn't enough to constitute copyright infringement or whatever they're actually going for. So basically, someone on the Discovery writing team allegedly saw this website that he was had up to show the creation of his game as he was developing it, before Discovery was written and released, and they took these ideas and used them without acknowledging him, and then didn't acknowledge him. Like they used his idea, and I was hoping it wouldn't end there, because the judge decided against him, and he put a message out on Twitter saying basically he decided against me. I'm just going to move on with my life. But I didn't think that was fair. I wanted him to appeal, and I was hoping that he would appeal. But it costs a lot of money, and it's very easy for you to say you should do it, you should fight it, but are you going to pay for his bills? Well, I'm not, so I wasn't saying much. But a few people got involved. Gary Beekler, whatever his name is, from Nerdrotic, he has been following this, and he got on it a bit, and apparently he has helped, I think, convince Anas, who, from all accounts of everyone who's interviewed him and spoke to him, he seems like a really nice, really sweet guy, and I was worried he didn't quite have the gumption to take on CBS, and I thought it wasn't going to happen. I thought he was going to let it go. But he has filed an appeal, and he set up a GoFundMe account, Justice for Anas, and he's going to try and fund a proper appeal and take this on, because it's wrong. You don't take someone's ideas and not acknowledge them. And they appealed. They seem to allegedly have done the same thing with Brian Fuller's ideas. He pitched 5 ideas to them, which was for hire or whatever. Basically, they paid him to create pictures and ideas and pitch them, and he did. And then they've used a couple of them already for Star Trek in shows. Picard is basically his idea, and one of the other ones seems to be his idea as well. And they didn't contact him or acknowledge him. Now, maybe they don't have to pay him because they already paid him for the ideas, and then they can do whatever they want with them. But if someone creates something, you acknowledge it. You put their name in the credits somewhere. You send them, you contact them and consult with them, or you do something. You don't just pretend. He found out that they'd used his Picard idea for the Picard series when he saw the trailer online, like the rest of us. And as you can imagine, it was very upsetting. So Picard, Discovery, they both have elements that have been taken from people's work and knowledge. Some, people who are paid for by CBS already, and some who have nothing to do with it. And this is really just not the way they should do it. And it's so hypocritical, because these same people sued Star Trek fans who are creating fan films, and basically banned fan films by putting a bunch of guidelines out that were so limiting that none of the productions that were running at the time could continue. And there's really so little you can do. There's really no point anymore making fan films. And they did all this, and the idea was to protect their IP, and it was their idea. And they don't seem to care about using other people's ideas, so it's hypocritical, and I'm glad he's fighting it. I wish I had enough money to help out. I wish I could help him. I'm broke. I'm a struggling artist. So I will not be doing much more than trying to promote it and tell anyone about it who might be able to help. That's the best I can do. That and send him my wishes. And I just hope he gets something. All they need to do is just acknowledge that the ideas are similar, or that they use them, or they were inspired by his thing, and just acknowledge it and do something. He's not a greedy person. He doesn't seem to be going for money and attention. He wants justice, and they could give it to him without it costing them a bunch of money, but they probably won't, which is why I hope they do lose the lawsuit, because then they would have to pay him a percentage of everything they've earned from Discovery, at least season 1, where they use his ideas, and even further into 2 and 3 with some of the characters. So I hope he wins and gets a bunch of money, because his parent recently died, and he was taking care of them while he was designing it, so he's been struggling, and this wasn't fair. He didn't need this extra stress and hassle and having to take a corporation to court. So I really think they owe him, and I hope they pay up, and I hope he gets justice. So justice for Anas. Feel free to like or subscribe, and let me know if you have an opinion on the subject, or what you think about whether they actually stole, or if it could have just been a coincidental, simultaneous, parallel idea. I don't think so. Thanks. Bye.